Hi Aquarius, welcome to October. This is Teresa from Tarot by T. So before I get into your reading, let's talk about what's happening astrologically this month. We have Mercury moving direct in Virgo after having been retrograde most of September. Mercury goes direct on the 2nd of October. On October 8th, Pluto goes direct in Capricorn. On October 9th, we have a full moon in Aries, which is favorable to your sign. And then on October 11th, Mercury moves into Libra, which is also favorable to your sign. October 23rd, we have Venus moving from Libra into Scorpio. And at the same time, Saturn goes direct in your sign. Then we have October 25th, the new moon solar eclipse. We're back to eclipse season in Scorpio. And that's going to be, I think that's happening in your career sector. But we'll look at that later. Let's see. Yeah, it's happening in your career. So it changes in career too. On October 30th, we have Mars, that's been in Gemini. It's going to go retrograde in Gemini at the end of October. And that's going to be significant too, because Mars will be in Gemini until March of next year. And we'll talk about that when I get to it later in the reading. So let's see what happens. Let's see what the cards have to say for Aquarius. What does Aquarius need to know about love and relationships? What does Aquarius need to know? What does Aquarius need to know about love and relationships for October? What is coming up for Aquarius? The King of Swords, the Ten of Cups, the Seven of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles, the Moon, the Nine of Wands, the Magician, the Knight of Pentacles, the Temperance card, the World. This is great. And the card at the bottom of the deck is the Nine of Pentacles. So the King of Swords, this could be your energy. This is someone who is trying to make a decision about like you're trying to make a decision about what's real and what's not real in a relationship. You're trying to make decisions about a relationship based on logic, not on emotion. And that's typical of Aquarius, because you think what makes sense. Your air signs are more mental and logical than emotional. And so when you make decisions, especially even in love relationships, it's not so much, you don't let your heart rule your head. You think, well, does this relationship make sense for me? Is this person a good intellectual match to me? Because you have to have that, a meeting of the minds in a relationship for it to work. You can't just have a pretty face. It has to be someone that you can talk to and communicate with. And you have the Ten of Cups here, so I feel like there's a lot of love around you. You have the potential for a strong, loving union. It's possible that in the recent past, you've had to set some boundaries with a lover, because the Seven of Wands is about standing up for what you believe in. It also means overcoming problems. So if you've had any issues in the relationship, I feel that you can work them out, or you've been working toward working them out. And you may even be taking a new direction, taking the relationship in a different direction. Maybe you've been focused on your career in the recent past and you haven't given enough time to this relationship. But I feel like you're doing a lot of thinking this month about relationships and, how does this person fit into my life? Does it make sense for me to connect with this person? Should I devote more time to this relationship? I think you're aware of the love, but there's a part of you you've also been focused on work. And you haven't, and sometimes you might have been neglecting the relationship because you were so focused on your career and work. Because I'm seeing the Nine of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is someone who is a self-made person. Maybe you're working for yourself, you have your own business, because Aquarians need a lot of freedom. You're better off working for yourself, being your own boss, than being in some other, under somebody else's thumb. So you've been successful as an entrepreneur, as a business person. And you might even be taking, like I said, with the Eight of Pentacles, you might be taking your career in a different direction. Recently you've made that decision. But you're also thinking, what good is me having, because the Nine of Pentacles is about someone who has financial success, abundance. So they're enjoying their wealth. They're enjoying their home, their secure home. Here's this woman in the garden, enjoying her beautiful house. But you're also feeling like, what good is having all this money and success and a beautiful home if I don't have someone to share it with? So you might be thinking, maybe I need to commit to something, or maybe I need to have a relationship, share my abundance with someone. And you have the hawk here in this card. That's like a message. The hawks usually represent a message, but it also represents insight, being able to see beneath the surface and see into the true nature of people. So you're really intuitive. Aquarians are very intuitive. You just channel information. You get inspired ideas and inspired thoughts. Very few people can fool an Aquarian, even though a lot of times you look like you're not paying attention and your mind is somewhere else, but it's always thinking. The wheels are always turning. So I feel like a message might be coming that's going to give you clarity, or that's important in your relationship and also in your career affairs. Coming up in the future, you have the Moon card and the Nine of Wands. So the Moon, I think that's a card of imagination. And sometimes it could be a card of confusion or not being able to see things clearly. So I think you're trying to figure someone out, someone who's been kind of confusing to you. And you're trying to figure out what they're all about and what their motivations are. And you're wondering, can I trust this person? That doesn't mean that they're not trustworthy, because I feel that they are, but I think you're just not sure because there's so much you don't know. They're kind of like a mystery to you, and you're trying to figure them out. The Nine of Wands is a card of someone who's been working really hard at something. You've been struggling with a situation. Could be a work situation. I feel like you've been really focused on work, and you're just exhausted. It's like, I don't know if I could keep this up. Maybe I need to just quit. And the Nine of Wands is saying, don't quit. You're just about to achieve your goal. So I feel like you may get a breather. You might achieve some type of career success that allows you to spend more time on love. I feel like that your energy has been just too busy with other things. And it's time to, especially some problem may come up with the Nine of Wands that you thought was dealt with. I thought I was done with this situation. Now I have to deal with it again. Another thing that the Nine of Wands can mean is someone from the past can come back. Someone that you thought, a relationship you thought was over. You may get a call from someone, and then you may have to decide, do I want to reconnect with this person? Or do I want to just let it go? Because there's some shady energy around the moon. And I feel like with the moon in this reading coming up into the future, you may get some clarity around the full moon, and we'll look at that later. The full moon in Aries might bring you some clarity where you can make a decision. But I feel like right now you are surrounded by love. So whoever you're dealing with right now, whoever's in your life now, really loves you. You have a good connection. You have the Magician here. This is a card of manifestation and communication. So maybe you're afraid to communicate your feelings for someone, or you don't really believe in the power that our thoughts create our reality. Maybe you don't believe that you have that power, but you do. You're very creative. You're a good communicator. So use those skills and visualize the success you want to achieve, because you can have it, and especially in love. In your environment, you have the Knight of Pentacles. So you might be dealing with someone who's like very down to earth, very practical, someone who likes to take things one day at a time. Um, so you don't want they don't really want to rush into anything either, and you don't either, because Aquarius likes their freedom. So they're better at friendship than they are at love. Because you don't want anybody that's going to lock you down or chain you to the bedpost. But if someone can love you and with an open hand, and give you your freedom, it will work. It can work. If you have a good friendship, that's the basis of all. Aquarians they do friendship. Love and friendship is more like friendship to them than like this, romantic, sappy kind of love kind of thing. Because I feel like the person you have in your life now is good for you. They kind of balance your energy. So they have more of an earthy, stable energy, and you have more of a visionary, airy energy, where you're all thinking and they may be more practical. Like you may have an idea of what you want to do, and they may have practical advice on how you can achieve it. So I think it's a good balance of energy. And with the temperance is about finding balance in your life, because this is in your wish fulfillment. You may have a dream or a goal that you want to achieve in a relationship or love, but you have to give it energy. You might have been so caught up with work that you haven't had enough time to develop your relationship. So now it's time to say, okay, I need to schedule relationship time as much as I schedule work meetings. So I have to have that balance. It's also a card of two people who are very different, but they're very compatible, and you have to understand each other. You approach life from different perspectives. You have a different way of approaching life and love. And you have to kind of try to see things from the other person's point of view. And that person needs to see things from your point of view. You need to communicate more and maybe possibly compromise. Because as an Aquarian, you're a fixed sign. And sometimes Aquarians can be set in their ways and you're not willing to change. You want everything to go your way. So you may have to learn how to compromise, and if you can do that and meet the person halfway, create like a win-win, you could have a really good relationship. And the final card is the World, which is great. The World means things are coming together now. You're completing a cycle. You're existing in a state of grace. I feel like things are working out for you. If they're not right now, they will be in the near future. So don't let fear or don't worry about like the other shoe's going to drop and everything's going to fall apart. You're coming into your a place of where you need to be. So like either like the relationship is coming together in a good way. You might be thinking of taking it to another level, like maybe making a commitment, and you're evaluating that now. But your career energy, you're moving up. You're moving into a new stage in your career that's going to be very successful. You're going to feel like I've really accomplished something and I'm living my best life. The World card is like I'm existing in a state of grace. Why didn't I make this move a long time ago? Because I really love what I'm doing now. I love the way my life is. So you can manifest your dream. You can have it all. You can have the love and you can have the career success. As long as you don't give up and you stand up for what you believe in and visualize. Use your thoughts. Use your thoughts to create your reality. Your thoughts have power. And don't give up. Even though things might have been difficult lately, that you're reaching the end of a path of hard work, and you're going to start to see the results. Everything's going to start to come together. So I feel like love is on. You're going to realize who really is on Team Aquarius. You're going to realize the love that's surrounding you. And you might even think about making a commitment because you're tired of being alone. And especially if you're not in a relationship or in a committed partnership, you want to share your life with someone. You want to share your abundance with someone. So you're going to have that opportunity, but you have to make that decision. And that's what you're doing right now. Because sometimes Aquarius, you can have this like a wall up, like you're hard to read. You appear to others as you're emotionally unavailable. So it's time to drop the guard and let love in. Let the other person know how you feel. If someone is special to you, you need to let them know. Okay, let's see what the angels have to say for Aquarius. Self-criticism. Okay. We, your angels, ask you to please be more compassionate toward yourself. Observe the times when you have critical thoughts about you, and make an effort to replace these negative thoughts with positive, loving ones. You are a wondrous being of light, even if at times you think you are less than perfect. Remember that God and divine perfection exists in all things. So yeah, you're worthy of love. You are surrounded by love. Don't doubt that. Don't be suspicious of it. Be open to it. Embrace it. So let's see what the astrology has to say. So you have a full moon in your third house, and it's conjunct Chiron, and the sun and Venus are in your ninth house. So this is a time when these are your travel houses and your communication houses. So definitely there could be some message coming in that creates some type of healing with your siblings. Because the third house is the house of brother, sister, aunt, uncle. It's also a house of communication. So maybe you have a healing message comes in. Maybe you need to talk to someone. And if you've had a falling out with a relative, maybe it's time to communicate and create healing. And you could get a message from someone, or you could be in love with someone from a distance, who lives at a distance or is from a different culture than you. Ninth house is the house of long distance travel, foreign things. They might even have a different spiritual path than you. But the sun and Venus, this is a good time for travel. If you're thinking about traveling, it's a good time to go on a trip and maybe go see someone that you haven't seen in a long time. And Venus is trine Saturn, and Saturn is in your first house. So you've been pretty serious lately. You've been seen as a hard worker. You've been really focused on your goals. It's time for you to have some fun. So you might want to take some time out and take a trip and maybe take someone with you and travel. Venus trine Saturn, if you're thinking about making a commitment, it will be in place for a long time. Saturn brings you stability. There could even be an age difference between the person you're interested in, where one person acts like the parent, and it's probably you, because Saturn's in your first house. You're like a parent to the other person, or an authority figure, and you give advice, and you're helping them through whatever their difficulties are. But you have different ways of approaching the world, so you have to learn how to compromise and create win-win situations. There are a lot of changes going on in your home situation. You have Uranus there. So there could be sudden things that you have to take care of around the home, maybe repairs, or maybe you want to change where you live or change your home in a major way so that it gives you more freedom. Maybe you want to sell your house and just not even have a home. So you're going to be making decisions about that too. There's going to be some, Uranus wants to free you from anything that's been holding you back from living your best life. And so you want to create the right home for you, the home that gives you freedom, that allows you creative self-expression. You have Mercury in the 8th house, trining Pluto in the 12th. So there could be some financial issues that pop up. You may have some power struggles with people over inheritance, insurance payouts, some kind of financial dealings, if you're waiting for financial support from a partner or from the government or from the bank, you may be trying to get a bank loan. There may be some power struggles around that, or there could be someone in power behind the scenes helping you to get that support, because Pluto's in the 12th house. You have Mars in the 5th. So Mars is where your energy is. And Mars in Gemini in the 5th. The 5th house is the fun house. The 5th house is romance, children, creative self-expression. And with Mars in Gemini, you might be involved in a lot of different projects. If you're not married, you might even be dating. Or you might be involved with children if you are in a committed partnership. And maybe your children are costing you some money because you have Mars squaring Neptune. You might be spending money based on, because you want to have fun, you've met somebody new and you're spending a lot of money, or your children are coming to you for assistance financially, or there could be some creative new project that you're starting and it's going to require some kind of abundance or funding. So you're focused on that. Mars is going to go retrograde at the end of the month, and when it does, it's time for you to rethink where you're putting your energy. What is it that I'm investing my time and energy and money in? Is it worth it? Do I need to make any adjustments? It's a time of rethinking and strategizing. And then when Mars goes direct in January and then moves out of its shadow toward February, March, that's the time you want to implement any plans or projects. So if you want to start something, a new creative project, do it at that time frame for the best success. Because if you start it during the retrograde, you may not have the energy to complete it. You may feel, because when Mars retrogrades, and especially because it's squaring Neptune, you just don't have that energy. You want to start something with Mars going forward. You want that Mars energy as built into your project. So that's the only thing I would say. Especially if it's a new relationship, give it time to develop. Don't rush into anything. Give yourself time to evaluate it and make sure it's right for you. Whether it's a relationship or a creative project or even something to do with your children. You could be thinking about having a child, maybe think about it. Or you could be dealing more with your children. Then we have the solar, let's see. So then Mercury goes into Libra, moves out of Virgo. Mercury goes into Libra, and that's in your 9th house. So that could be when, during the solar eclipse, when Mercury moves into Libra, you might be thinking about either teaching or picking up some new skills, because the 9th house is higher education. Maybe you're thinking, well, you know what, I want to advance in my career, I may need to pick up some new skills. Or I may need to travel. I may want to deal with foreign cultures. I may want to create some kind of business deal with people from outside of my local environment. Or I may want to teach what I know, depending on your age. Because the 9th house is long-distance travel, foreign cultures, your spiritual belief system. And with Mercury there, you might even get a message may come to you from a distance. And it's trining Mars in the 5th house, so that could be like a new romance. You might be connecting with someone who's very different than you. And you could have a budding romance. Jupiter's in your 3rd house. So that's your thinking and your communication style. You might be having big ideas and you might be wanting to expand. But just make sure that whatever you're taking on, you're not overdoing it, because Jupiter can lead to excess sometimes. Now, the solar eclipse that happens on the 25th, it's going to be in your 10th house, and that's your house of career and life direction, and it's conjunct Venus. And this solar eclipse is trining Mars in the 5th house. So there's a powerful new beginning coming in your career and your life path. You could be embarking on a new job or a new project, taking your business in a new direction. You could also be doing something you really love, work that you really love, like something you've always wanted to do, and you're just loving your job. You're loving your career path. But it could also mean a new relationship that starts and it changes your life in some way. Because the 10th house is also your public life, your status in the world. So if you're single, you could get married. If you're married, you could become single. It's just there's a lot of changes. There's a lot of new beginnings. Sometimes with an eclipse, one thing ends and a new thing begins simultaneously. But whatever it is, it's powerful energy that's going to last for at least 6 months until the next eclipse. And it may change your life direction, but I feel like it's positive. The only thing is it's squaring Pluto in your 12th house. So you may have some psychological blocks that are preventing you from taking advantage of this new beginning. Or there may be some power struggles with someone from behind the scenes. Maybe there's a powerful person, because the 12th house is the house of hidden enemies. There could be some powerful person trying to block you in some way. Or if it's not a person, it could be your own psychological fears and hang-ups that are standing in the way or making you afraid of this new beginning. But a solar eclipse is a powerful new beginning. And I think it can be positive for you because it's also creating a grand trine with Saturn and Mercury. And Saturn is one of your rulers. In addition to Aquarius, Saturn is your ancient ruler. And it's in your 1st house. And Mars is in your 5th house. I feel like it's a relationship. I think you're going to form a relationship that's going to be very positive. And it's going to put you in a new trajectory. It's going to make, so because the 10th house is also your public life. So you're going to become more public and more successful, and people are going to see whatever you're doing. It's going to change how you feel about yourself. It's going to change your status, your public image. So it could be a relationship for some of you that brings joy to your life. It could also be, like I said, a new career project that you're just absolutely loving, like you're doing the job of your dreams. So be aware of that too. This is a powerful new beginning. And as with all new beginnings, you may have to release something that's been holding you back to embrace this new path. So don't let anyone bully you, or don't let anyone try to manipulate you into not moving into this new path or this new relationship, because I think it's just right for you. With the World card and the Ten of Cups, I think that you're going to walk into something that's just perfect. And you're going to say, why did I wait so long? This is like where I should have been all along. So good things are coming, Aquarius. Don't doubt yourself. Leave time for work-life balance. Leave time for love, and it can be yours. And with it, success. Your hard work is about to pay off. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, click on the like button, click on the subscribe button, leave a comment, let me know if this resonated with you. If you want to support my channel by likes or subscribes or comments, that's a good way to support my channel. And if this is a general reading, so it may not apply to everyone. If you'd like a private reading, click on the link in the description box. It'll take you to my website. We can get you on the schedule. In the meantime, I want to thank everyone for their support. If you're new, welcome. Hope you're enjoying the videos. Keep liking, keep subscribing, keep commenting. I love reading all the comments. Have a wonderful October. Have a happy Halloween if you're celebrating. And I will talk to you again next month. Okay, bye now.